What if I told you the smartest drivers in the UK aren't buying new cars? They are buying 20-year-old ones. Not from desperation, from pure financial intelligence. While everyone else drowns in depreciation, monthly payments and dealer traps, these drivers pay cash, own their car outright, and save thousands every single year. The reasons behind this movement are shocking. By the end of this video, you will never think about buying a car the same way again. Start with what happens the moment you drive a new car off the forecourt. It changes from new to used, instantly. In the first year alone, new cars lose between 15 and 35% of their value. By year 3, the majority of models have lost 60% or more. That is not a fee. That is not tax. That is money you paid, evaporating in real time while you sit in traffic. On a £28,000 SUV, you could be watching £9,000 disappear before you have even had your first service, before the tyres have properly bedded in. The depreciation clock starts running the second the dealer hands over the keys, and it does not stop. And the finance company knows this. That is why they want you paying monthly. Depreciation is their product. You are renting an asset they know will collapse in value, and you are absorbing every penny of that collapse, month after month, in exchange for the privilege of calling it yours. Now consider a 2005 Toyota Corolla. You pay £4,000. You own it outright. The depreciation curve on a 20-year-old car is entirely flat. It has already happened years before you arrived. Some of these cars are not depreciating at all. The Toyota Corolla E12 generation, the Honda Civic, the Mazda MX-5, these are now attracting genuine collector interest. The MX-5 NB and NC generations have seen values stabilize and in good, well-documented examples, move upward. Some owners are selling for more than they paid. There is no finance company with a claim on the vehicle, no negative equity, no gap insurance. You own the asset outright from day one, and you own every pound of value it retains going forward. Reason 1. Zero depreciation. The curve is already flat. New cars lose 15 to 35% of their value in year 1 alone, confirmed across CarWow, Motorway and multiple UK valuation services. By year 3, average UK depreciation sits at nearly 39%. Some models, certain electric vehicles, several French brands, and entry-level luxury saloons lose over 60% in 3 years. On a £30,000 car, that is £18,000 gone. Not spent on parts, not on fuel, not on anything tangible, simply absorbed by the market as the car ages. The buyer never sees it as a single line item. It arrives slowly, invisibly, and only fully registers when they go to sell. A 20-year-old car has already absorbed every percentage point of that curve. The Toyota Corolla you buy for £4,000 today will be worth approximately £4,000 in a year. Possibly more if it is clean, well serviced, and part of a generation now attracting enthusiast interest. This is not theoretical. It is an asset you can verify, check against current listings, and sell at any point without financial loss. No depreciation to budget for, no residual value calculation to manage, and we're only halfway through. If this is already making you rethink what you spend on transport, hit subscribe right now, because the next 3 reasons are where the real money is saved. Don't miss them. Reason 2. Insurance at a fraction of the cost. A modern family SUV typically sits in insurance groups 20 to 35. Large or premium SUVs reach groups 35 to 50. For higher risk drivers, younger drivers, those with recent claims, or those in higher rated postcodes, that means £900 to £1,500 a year in premiums. Average SUV insurance across the UK sits at approximately £1,300 annually, according to 2024 market data. A car from the 2000s in a low insurance group, like a Corolla, a Civic or an MX-5, typically falls in groups 6 to 14. Real-world premiums for experienced drivers are £350 to £600 annually. That is £500 to £900 a year staying in your account rather than going to an insurer. There is a second layer to this saving most people overlook. Modern cars are loaded with sensors, cameras and radar units that are expensive to replace after even a minor parking incident. A reversing camera bracket clipped in a car park can generate an estimate past £1,000 on a new vehicle because the part must be sourced through a franchised dealer, calibrated by a trained technician, and logged against the vehicle's electronic systems. On a car from the 2000s, a minor bump is a minor bump. A local body shop can carry out a standard panel repair straightforward. Over 3 years, the combined insurance saving is conservatively £1,500 to £2,700 compared to a modern equivalent. Always compare 3 or more quotes before purchasing any vehicle. Reason 3. Any mechanic, any garage. No specialist needed. At a main dealer or prestige franchise garage in 2025, labour rates run from £120 to over £150 per hour before any parts are ordered. Diagnostic fees before work begins range from £40 to £150, and they are charged on top of the repair bill, not offset against it. The national average across UK independent garages, according to Whatcar, research covering 279 Independent Garage Association members, is £76 per hour. In towns outside London and the South East, £60 to £85 is typical. On a 20-year-old Toyota, Honda or Ford petrol model, any competent independent mechanic handles the work. No proprietary diagnostic dongle, no manufacturer login, no appointment 3 weeks ahead because the vehicle's firmware needs updating before the fault can be read. You call a local garage. You book for next week. You collect the car fixed and pay an honest bill. Common repairs that cost £1,500 to £3,000 on a modern car cost £150 to £400 on these cars. A clutch, a set of brake discs and pads, a coolant hose. These parts are universally stocked, often available next day from multiple suppliers, at pricing that reflects a mature and competitive supply chain. That difference in annual repair spend compounds with every year you hold the car. Reason 4. Proven reliability built before the cost-cutting era. The 2000s generation of Japanese cars was engineered before the widespread adoption of turbocharged small displacement engines that now dominate the mainstream market. The Toyota Corolla E12 uses a naturally aspirated 1.4 or 1.6 litre engine paired with a conventional gearbox. The Honda Civic EP generation follows the same engineering logic. So does the Mazda MX-5 NC, running a 1.8 or 2 litre naturally aspirated unit in a rear-wheel drive platform built for longevity. No turbochargers failing at 60,000 miles. No intercooler pipes cracking on cold start boost. No continuously variable transmission gradually destroying itself on a high-mileage vehicle, a failure mode now well documented across a range of modern vehicles from multiple mainstream manufacturers. The Honest John Satisfaction Index. 2025 ranks. Toyota 3rd and Honda 4th in the UK for overall reliability. That is owner-reported real-world data, not a manufacturer claim. These engines reach 200,000 to 250,000 miles with proper maintenance, oil changes on schedule, coolant refreshed, and cam replaced at the manufacturer's interval where applicable. In the 2025 JD Power Vehicle Dependability Study, Toyota ranked 3rd among all mass-market brands, with fewer reported problems per 100 vehicles than nearly every mainstream competitor. The owner communities around these cars are enormous. Forums, free technical advice, every known fault pattern documented and solved by people who owned these cars years before you. When something minor goes wrong, the answer already exists and is verified by owners who fixed the same fault years before you encountered it. You are not buying uncertainty, you are buying 20 years of data, already published and solved. For cars registered before the 1st of March 2001, vehicle excise duty is based on engine size alone. Under 1,549 cubic centimetres, £220 a year. Over that threshold, £360 a year. Those are the confirmed 2025 to 2026 DVLA auction rates. For cars registered between 2001 and 2017, tax is banded by carbon dioxide emissions. Low emission examples start from £20 a year following the April 2025 rule changes. Compare that to any car registered after April 2017. A flat £195 a year in 2025 to 2026, rising to £200 a year from April 2026. If that car had a list price over £40,000 when new, which covers a wide range of mainstream SUVs, an additional £425 luxury supplement applies for 5 years from the second year of registration. On a new £40,000 SUV, that is £620 a year in road tax alone, before fuel, before insurance, before a single trip to the garage. If your vehicle was built before the 1st of January 1985, it qualifies as a historic vehicle and is entirely exempt from vehicle excise duty. That exemption rolls forward every year. From April 2026, the cutoff moves to pre-1986. You must apply to the DVLA. It is not automatic, but when granted, the road tax line is zero. Simple, naturally aspirated engines achieve their stated fuel economy reliably under real-world conditions. No software subscriptions, no forced updates changing how the car behaves without your input. Total yearly running cost on a well-maintained 20-year-old car is £1,500 to £2,500 a year. The equivalent on a modern car, factoring depreciation, insurance, repairs and tax, is £6,000 to £9,000 or more a year. Reason 6 in the best models smart buyers are targeting now. The Toyota Corolla E12, built from 2001 to 2007, carries a near unbreakable reliability reputation backed by 2 decades of owner data. Parts availability is exceptional. Service history is straightforward to verify. Clean examples with full service history sit in the £2,500 to £5,000 range. The Honda Civic EP, the hatchback built from 2001 to 2005, is solid and proven. One area to examine carefully on any purchase is gearbox history. Ask for receipts. Check for smooth, clean shifts throughout the full rev range before committing. A pre-purchase inspection from an independent mechanic is worth every pound on this generation. The Mazda MX-5 NB and NC are actively appreciating. The NB averages close to £10,000 in good condition according to current valuation data. The NC offers early examples from £2,000 to £4,000, rising to £5,500 to £7,500 for facelift versions. These are not just economical choices. They are genuinely enjoyable cars that continue to rise as the enthusiast market recognises what they represent. For those needing space, the Honda CR-V Mark II and Toyota RAV4 Mark II are robust, proven, and without the financial trap of a modern SUV. The Ford Focus Mark I and Mark II in petrol form offer extraordinary parts availability and very low running costs. Avoid the diesels, where particulate filter and injector issues erode the advantage. Steer clear of early 2000 models from French brands, as well as Rover and early Chrysler. The sweet spot for exceptional examples of any of the above is £2,500 to £6,000. At the top of that range, you will find clean, well-maintained examples with full documented history, the kind of car that requires nothing but routine maintenance, costs almost nothing to run, and will hold its value while everything around it continues to depreciate. A modern £28,000 SUV carries a true yearly cost of £6,000 to £10,000, depreciation, insurance, repairs and road tax combined. Most buyers never see this as a single number because no single invoice reflects the full picture. The finance payment obscures the depreciation. The insurance renewal arrives separately. The repair bill feels like bad luck rather than a predictable cost of ownership. A 2005 Toyota Corolla costs £4,000 to purchase outright, £500 insurance, £300 in repairs over the year, £265 to £315 road tax depending on its carbon dioxide band under 2025 to 2026 rates. The total first-year cost, including the purchase price of the vehicle itself, is approximately £5,065 to £5,115. Yearly saving against a modern car is £4,000 to £7,000 every year. Redirected to savings, investments or clearing debt, that money is yours, not the finance company's. Over 5 years, that is £20,000 to £35,000. It does not evaporate with the depreciation curve, it does not disappear into interest payments, it sits in your account, compounding, working for you. The smartest drivers in the UK already know this. The car industry spends billions every year ensuring most people never stop to do the maths. Now you have. Subscribe, and every week we show you exactly where the money goes and precisely how to keep every pound of it.